Happy Friday. It's been a pretty happy Friday, temperature-wise. Certainly a lot of sun, upper 60s today. Now, of course, all of this happening as we've also picked up some big rain in the last 24 hours. Since I saw you last, almost 2 inches of rain in totality here. Now, that's in downtown Sagersville. Keep in mind, the southern part of McGoffin County, for example, one of many that I think saw more than that, and as a result, a lot of roads which have been, of course, covered by high water. I know of no serious issues or damage as a result. I can tell you that traveling back this afternoon, I left Sagersville early this morning, quite foggy and before dawn, and returning around 2 o'clock or so, a downed tree right in front of us on 460 West coming back into McGoffin County, which fell, good-sized tree. Could have certainly caused a serious accident, fell just in front of the car in front of us. Other than that, and of course the water, which was covering many of the roads in their usual places, I know of no other serious complications, but of course it was up in the Ramey Park today, and of course the water was still rising in the afternoon hours as we were traveling from, at that time, the Morgan County area back to Sagersville, and along 460 it was just in cresting, I think, sometime this afternoon, but nevertheless, again, no serious issues. Now it's on to colder air and some snow in your forecast that we've been talking about now for days. Rain, I think the biggest rainfall rate I had was about 2¼ inches per hour. That was the rate at times, keep in mind. But again, about 2 inches here in downtown Sagersville. A lot to talk about tonight. First, we'll begin elsewhere. A former McGoffin County woman was one of 2 former Lexington federal prison guards who were sentenced just this past week for taking bribes in the facility for bringing in contraband. Both were charged federally just last year. Ashley Jade Howard, a former guard, was sentenced to 12 months and 1 day in prison by the U.S. District Judge over the case Karen Caldwell for bribery. The courts alleging and her agreeing to in pleading guilty that between 2021 and 24, while working as a corrections officer and a material handler, was approached by at least one inmate to bring contraband, specifically cigarettes, into the facility, and later it was synthetic marijuana that was laced on sheets of paper sometime in August of 2004. 50 sheets of paper. It was once those laced sheets of paper with synthetic marijuana were being used by inmates and it was noticed that something was unusual, that's when the situation unfolded as far as being known by other jail individuals. Howard pleaded guilty on October the 6th to bribery and again was sentenced to 12 months and 1 day in prison. And for the other inmate, another woman, a 29-year-old woman, was sentenced to 12 months in prison for sexual contact and receiving an illegal gratuity or bribery as well. I'm going to tell you in a few minutes what I know now, as I understand, about the request that I told you about last night, the Floyd County Schools asking that McGoffin and Lawrence counties essentially switch their districts and McGoffin County no longer be a part of the 58th district in regards to sports. There is a reason behind that. It might not be what we were thinking. We'll talk about that in just a few seconds. I'll also have an arrest here locally from McGoffin County officials in regards to a stolen debit or credit card, and I'll start with that after this. Come and sing along with one of the all-time greats, all 5 original members of Kentucky's own Exile, and right around Valentine's Day, I might add, at the Mountain Arts Center, and benefiting Hillbilly Christmas in July's support of Shriners Hospital Kids. It's a winning evening for everyone in every way. Saturday, February the 21st at the Mountain Arts Center. Get your tickets now.
Johnson Central High School stands alone in providing the most college and career programs of study in one building throughout the entire state of Kentucky. This includes pathways in everything from the medical field to engineering, telemedia, welding, agriculture, and even aviation. And that's just to name a few of the 32 different choices. Work has also been started on a brand new state-of-the-art high school. So now is the time for your child to experience the power of opportunities in Johnson County School.
SMB is proud to stand with you with what might be your very first and definitely last checking, savings, retirement, even Christmas club account, along with consumer, auto, mortgage, business loans that you can easily manage from anywhere in the world with safe, secure mobile and online banking that comes from over 120 years of commitment to your financial life and well-being, today, tomorrow, and forever. Salyersville National. B&B Discount Tobacco has moved just down the street beside the Montgomery County Rescue Squad. New location, new and improved drive-through, new products, more inventory, more reasons to stop by B&B Tobacco 7 days a week. It's a new year with new deals at Conley Tire in Staffordsville, like $100 back on new sets of Goodyears through February the 28th, and other specials on East Kentucky's best in-stock tire inventory. Conley's, your tire, wheel, and auto repair and maintenance HQ since 1982. In Staffordsville or at conleytire.net. These are actual recent images of local heating and cooling systems, residential and commercial, an example of 75% of all the calls that Ultimate Air responds to. Little or no maintenance, or sometimes someone else being paid to maintain a system. Prevent 75% of your breakdowns with preventative and actual maintenance by Ultimate Air. Locally owned, locally trusted. A new year often means new inspirations, new goals, a new focus on your health and well-being, and nowhere is that more important than Fraser's Prater Drugstore. From healthy resolutions to a fresh start without smoking, to a fresh batch of cookies just in from the daily bread, to some incredible comfort food at the counter. Step in and let us remind you why we'll always be your oldest hometown pharmacy. Fraser's Prater Drugstore, downtown Salyersville. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Department has made the following arrest after an investigation into a stolen credit or debit card. The Montgomery County SO arrested 33-year-old Kayla Jo Fletcher last night in the Bloomington Loop area after an investigation that goes back to a complaint that started in October, where a victim said towards the last day of December that from October through January of this year, essentially, that he was a victim of theft after allowing Fletcher to use a debit or credit card for the agreed amount of $50 to take the card, go to the ATM, get the cash for which he was loaning her. However, she didn't return with the card, and the victim stated to authorities and made numerous attempts to get the card back, for which he kept being stalled. The card was not returned, and eventually, over that course of time, a total of over $1,136 was said to have been withdrawn by Fletcher, or with Fletcher's doing, money sent to another individual for their gain. She was charged with fraudulent use of a credit card between $1,000 and $10,000 and theft or receipt of a stolen credit or debit card and lodged in the Big Sandy. She has since bonded out. A lot to talk about in sports tonight. Most of it, all of it, high school basketball related, and your weather and more. Right now, here's tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau calendar and a birthday to start. You know, there's birthdays, and then there's big birthdays, and then there's big little birthdays, and please join me for the latter. Happy first birthday, it says, to Addison Kate Daniel on tomorrow, which is the 21st. Love Mom, Dad, Caden, Eli, Mamaw, and Papaw. The happiest of big first birthdays to Addison Kate. From there, a reminder or two or three. Don't forget, a week from tomorrow is the big trading event, trade show event coming up at the high school. It's also a fundraiser for the Lady Hornets, so come out and support them. They're going to have great concessions and a great show, 10 till 4 o'clock, hosted by Salyersville Sports Cards. Don't forget, mark it down in your calendar for the big dinner and auction they've got planned at the head of Coon United Baptist Church. And this is not until Saturday the 7th, but keep it in mind. Big soup bean dinner, hot dog dinner. They're going to have a big auction. Just great prices, great event. McGoffin Special Olympics is looking for sponsors for new uniforms. If you can help, contact Paul Gumby Montgomery. A little goes a long way with that organization. And contact me when you've got anything you want on the calendar. Next, funeral announcements brought to you nightly by the Magoffin County Funeral Home. Services have been set, as I understand, for this Sunday to begin at 1 o'clock in honor of 54-year-old Patricia Rice, Patricia Anna Salyer Rice of Sagersville, who passed away yesterday at UK. The daughter of Thomas Salyer and the late Genevieve Blue King Salyer. She's survived by her husband, Roy Allen Rice, daughters Haley Salyer, Audria Cheyenne Cottle, brothers Scotty and Jamie and Anthony Salyer, and a grandson, Bradley Scott. In addition to her mother, Patricia is preceded in death by an infant son, Billy Ray Rice. Again, services start Sunday at 1 from the Magoffin County Funeral Home. Visitation will be Saturday from 5 until 9 and up until services begin Sunday.
There are buttons to button, snacks to prepare, math problems to help with, and boo-boos to kiss. If you have people who need you, you need life insurance. Talk to a Kentucky Farm Bureau agent about a policy that protects the ones you love. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Big on commitment.
Ranked in the very top 10% of the top 150 Kentucky workers' compensation attorneys for Social Security, disability, SSI, personal injury, or workers' compensation, if your working days are over, meet Grover. 888-9-GROVER or locally 349-2065. For home, farm, hillside, or anywhere you need it, A&W Tree Services offers professional tree and brush trimming, removal, and complete cleanup. They're experienced, insured, and have great references. Call for a free estimate, 496-9385 or 9442. A&W Tree Services.
I wonder, could this be our last trip together? What if I upset him? He might never call again. But what if I don't say anything?
Hey, Dad. Is something wrong?
Actually, are you okay?
If someone you know or love is struggling, contact Big Sandy Healthcare today.
Starting off a new year, Parkway Pharmacy wants you to know that they have a lot to be proud of, thanks to you. Proud to be community partners. Proud to be good neighbors. Proud to be your pharmacy. Thank you from everyone at Parkway Pharmacy in Salyersville.
Atrial fibrillation is one of the more common rhythms we see.
AFib is an arrhythmia of the heart where the top part of the heart is beating erratically and out of sync with the bottom part of the heart.
The electrophysiology service is made up of a team of healthcare providers, and that includes an electrophysiology lab where we're able to do procedures to help repair heart rhythm problems. When a patient becomes heart rhythm free, it can really restore their life.
ARH, more for Appalachia.
Youth.
Experience.
Modern solutions to modern problems.
Proven solutions to legal problems.
An emerging face in the courtroom.
A known presence in the courtroom.
Together, we are multifaceted.
Together, we will do right by you.
If you are having any legal issues at all, just relax and call Max.
If a car wreck is causing you pain, just pick up the phone and call Donald Wayne.
Election season is here, and we are a one-stop sign and advertising shop. Campaign commercials for TV, for the internet, print advertising in 2 publications, yard signs, bumper stickers, business cards, shirts, caps, banners, all in-house, all premium quality, all local, with no minimums to purchase. Call Independent Signs and Mortimer Media Group today, 349-2915. Last night and tonight, pretty much the last nights for regular season basketball for viewing area teams. We'll take a look at the schedule, the district tournament, and the 57th, which starts Monday night, as I've mentioned, all of that. And as well, we'll start off by talking about the Floyd County Schools requesting via a written request submitted to and presented at the control meeting for the Kentucky High School Athletic Association this week. Floyd County Schools requesting a change as part of a public comment period during the Board of Control meeting held earlier this week. The Floyd County Schools had submitted said letter asking for consideration of Lawrence County and Magoffin County to essentially switch districts. This request, as I have learned after talking to Magoffin County's athletic director, Gabe Burchell, via the telephone just a few moments ago, he stepped out of a meeting just to give me a few words, is geographic in nature. Geographic in nature indeed. The point of the Floyd County school system, when you look at the 58th district, for which Prestonsburg, Betsy Lane, and Floyd Central schools are in, for example, looking at the furthest end of the spectrum, if you will, parents, families, athletes from the Wheelwright area traveling to Lawrence County for district play, mind you, well, are making a 70 to 80 mile trip one way. One way. And they are wanting to be somewhere in a district, and they want to be in a district where travel is not so extreme. And as I understand, after speaking with Magoffin County's AD, Gabe Burchell, just a few moments ago via the phone, as I said, they reached out to all the affected schools and requested their input on the matter before submitting that written request to the KHSAA. And as I understand, per Burchell, the Magoffin County School District was understanding of the matter and open to the request. Now, that request is one that will be brought up before the next control board meeting, and that will be either in July or December. And it will be a decision that will be taking into account, well, essentially, the impacts, opinions, evaluating everything as it pertains to each and every school affected, and getting a consensus between all that this is something they are open and interested and agreeable to. And then and only then could this decision be made. So, what would that look like in the 57th and 58th districts? Well, as it's been for a number of years, 57th district teams have been made up of the Magoffin County Hornets, Johnson Central Golden Eagles, Paintsville Tigers, Martin County Cardinals. But if this request in its current suggested form were to take place, they would simply switch Martin County, Magoffin County, and Lawrence County schools, meaning that the 57th district would then be made up of course, the Bulldogs, Central, Paintsville, and Martin County. Meanwhile, the 58th district, which consists of now the Bulldogs, Floyd Central, Betsy Lane, and Prestonsburg, well, would then be Magoffin County, Floyd Central, Betsy Lane, and the Black Cats. Again, just a request at this time, which would take a lot of thought and process to go through. We'll keep you posted as that takes place. Right now, let's see how the season's ended or ending. We'll start with the Hornets. The boys wrapping up their regular season tonight here at home, hosting West Carter. This on the heels of last night's road win at Prestonsburg. The boys coming back with a 70-47 victory over the Black Cats last night, putting them right now going into the last game of the regular season, 7 wins, 21 losses. They, of course, have wrapped up their district play at 0-6, thus the 4th seed for the boys, and they will, of course, be tipping off on Tuesday night in the 57th district. Lady Hornets, they are done with the regular season after last night's hosting of Betsy Lane, a loss on the home court, 38-60 final score for the girls last night, and that puts them on into the 57th district. Right now on the season, 8 wins, 17 losses, also 0 wins in the district, thus the number 4 seed who will play the number 1, Johnson Central. That is the first game of the 57th district tournament at Central Monday night, tip-off set for 6:30. Johnson Central, Golden Eagle basketball, 93-60 Wednesday night at East Ridge. They are at Huntington Expression Prep tonight. Tip-off set for 7:30, and that will be the final game of their season. Going into tonight's game, they are at 22-5, 5-1 in the district. The only district loss they had was to Martin County back in January on the 30th, losing by 4 to the Cardinals. So right now, the boys from Central sitting in the number 2 spot of 15th region standings. And again, headed to the district next Tuesday night. Lady Eagle basketball, 71-41. Boyd County falling short by 30 at the home of the Lady Eagles. Last night, the Lady Eagles wrap up their regular season play on the road, taking a trip to Ashland Blazer tonight. That game is a 7:30 game, and that will be their last game of the season. On the road, right now, they are a 16-5 season and 6-0 in the district. They also have 0 losses in regional play, which puts the Lady Eagles at the very top of 15th region standings. Tiger basketball, 82-65 versus Betsy Lane. This was last night at Betsy Lane, and that puts the boys a little above even, one rung above even, 14-13 on the season, 2-5 in the 57th district. The only 2 wins they had in the 57th were over McGoffin County. And with last night's last game of the regular season versus Betsy Lane, that takes them on into 57th district play versus Johnson Central. Tuesday night, 8:15, Lady Tiger basketball. They've got one more game to go on the regular schedule, and that is tonight hosting Pikeville. This after 3 wins in a row to wrap it up for the regular season over Martin County, over Prestonsburg, and Morgan County. Night before last, 64-49. Lady Tiger basketball on a 19-9 season right now, wrapping up their season. Regular, that is, tonight before district play starts next Monday night. For the girls, Bulldog basketball in the 58th district, 75-74, hosting Ashland Blazer last night. Bulldogs are at Floyd Central on Tuesday. Game time tip-off set for 7:30 for the first round of the 58th district. Boys right now from Lawrence County at an 11-15 season, 1-5 in their district. And as we wrap it up by looking at the Lady Bulldogs, 43-65. This was hosting Tug Valley last night. Wraps up the regular season. They will be playing Floyd Central's girls Monday night on the road. Tip-off set for 6 o'clock. Again, the 57th District Tournament, hosted by Johnson Central this year round, starts Monday night. Game 1 for the girls, 6:30. Johnson Central, McGoffin County, the 1 and the 4. Game 2, 8:15 Monday. The number 2 and number 3 seeds, Paintsville and Martin County. And the championship game for the girls will be on Wednesday, 7 o'clock. And, of course, at Johnson Central. And the boys bracket, Game 1, Tuesday night, will be the number 1 and 4, Martin County and McGoffin County, 6:30. Game 2, the 2 and the 3, Johnson Central and Paintsville, 8:15. The boys' championship will be Thursday night, tip-off set for 7 o'clock. Now, let's talk about the weather. Wish I had a better note to go out on, but, the weather, it is what indeed it is. It was 68, technically 68.5 degrees in downtown Sagersville earlier today. A beautiful day to be out. If you got out of the sun, you could tell it was a little cooler in the shade, but it was still nice all the way around. And this again after 1 1/4 inches of rain essentially since midnight, and then about a ½ inch before midnight yesterday, adding up again to almost 2 inches. And for some parts of the viewing area, I think some saw more than that, but no real high water problems. Run of the mill, sad to say and phrase it that way, but indeed that's just kind of where we live in eastern Kentucky when you see that much rain. 34 degrees tonight, partly cloudy. We've been talking about the cold air and the snow chances to follow all this nice weather that we'd like to see continue for a number of days, and we'll see partly cloudy skies tonight. Still breezy out there, 5 to 20, closer to 5 right now, if you're catching the early show. 53 tomorrow, partly sunny for your Saturday. A pretty nice day in the neighborhood. Winds are going to be a little more calm tomorrow, just a light west-northwest wind, so not as breezy. And 53, that will certainly help make it feel pretty nice. We are going to be open tomorrow at Henry's Hot Dog Company. After that, I don't know for a few days. We have Saturday night, a 70% chance of rain and then some snow, less than a ½ inch of accumulation expected as far as snowfall is concerned. Sunday, we have a 40% chance of snow lingering, windy, still up to 20 miles per hour at times. As far as winds are concerned, only 33, what will be really chilly degrees. Mostly cloudy, 33, windy, snowflakes. Pretty much how you can wrap up your Sunday. Monday, a 30% chance of snow, maybe up through noon or so, midday. Mostly cloudy. Temperatures, 33 again, and 20 for nighttime lows Monday night. Now, as far as the 7-day is concerned, that's the bottom of it. That's where we bottom out, and then we start a slow recovery. to at least back to the 50s where we kind of plateau for a little while. Tuesday, partly sunny, 40 degrees. Going to be a cool one out there. Mostly cloudy that night and a few degrees below the freezing mark. Wednesday, we should hit the low 50s. Mostly cloudy, but with that, we also have rain. Mostly cloudy on Wednesday with a 30% chance of rain in the afternoon. Dial it up to about an 80% chance of rain by Wednesday night. Thursday, still low 50s, still mostly cloudy, still a 50% chance of rain. Friday of next week, still low 50s, still low 30s, and still a smaller chance of rain with what might be some mostly sunny skies. And then from there, I just don't know. We'll talk about that next week. That'll do it for tonight. Sorry I don't have a better forecast for you for the weekend or the rest of the 7-day, but spring is coming. Spring is coming. I'm going to keep telling myself that over and over. Until I see you next time. Good night, good weekend. Thank you for watching.